1, 2, 3, 4. Almost a weekend and you don't know what to do. Or you just need something fun to listen to.
Southside Pod!
Yes, we're on the air.
Southside Pod!
And the gang's all here, all things on the South Side. You're listening to the Southside Pod. Looking for the best Southside breweries. Or you might just need an awesome place to eat.
Southside Pod!
Mount Greenwood, Evergreen,
Southside Pod!
Blue Island, Beverly, Payless, and Allsup too. You're tuned into the Southside Pod.
Southside Pod!
Oak Lawn, Midlothian,
Southside Pod!
Oak Forest, Chicago Ridge, Flossmoor, and Bridgeview. You're listening to Southside Pod.
What are you drinking over there? Explain that to me.
Happy Dad.
Happy Dad? What is Happy Dad?
Seltzer for guys.
He's got like an old school label on it. It's like, I don't want to admit that I'm drinking a seltzer. I want it to look like a beer.
There's a group of YouTubers.
It's like actually in a beer can. Like, you know how seltzers are like the thin things?
That's the
This
idea.
looks like a beer can with an old school label, but it's seltzer.
No more skinny cans.
Yeah.
Don't have to be embarrassed about that anymore.
So you're a Happy Dad?
I after like a couple of these, sure.
Dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my life.
There's a group of YouTubers called the Nelk Boys.
The what?
The Nelk Boys.
What does that mean, the
I'm
Nelk
not even
Boys?
sure, but they're from Canada, and they started like doing pranks on YouTube like 10 years ago, and now they're like billionaires.
Why didn't we end up doing that?
But they started their own seltzer company.
We really got to start doing YouTube.
Like when I say
pranks.
billionaires, I'm pretty sure they're actually billionaires. Like it's stupid.
Yeah, I know. We've really
Like they're
screwed up here.
best friends with like Dana White, and they hang out.
Oh,
and
this
I'm just-
podcasting thing was a terrible idea. We should have just
But anyway, it's very good. So try Happy
should have
Dad.
just gone up and down escalators and petted people's arms. And
When a guy
we'd be
drinks
millionaires.
When a guy drinks a White Claw, you get dirty looks. But
Oh,
not
yeah.
like, what are you drinking over there? It just looks like
I'm drinking Happy Dad.
Happy Dad.
Oh, well, okay. Well, then that's much better. Anyway, welcome in to Southside Pod. My name's Chris. His name's Bill. Belly on up to the 9-foot homemade oak bar. Pour yourself a cold one. 30 minutes of good covering the South Side. Lots of fun ahead for you. It's all brought to you by Tom Walsh, your Edward Jones financial advisor, right on the corner of 111th and Kedzie. Tom actually called me. He handles my money. He handles Bill. Called me before the election and went over how the markets react generally to a midterm. I'm pretty sure he did that with everybody he works with. It's amazing. See what he can do for your retirement. Give him a call, 773-779-0023. Second week in a row here on Southside Pod, we're talking to somebody in Lamont, and there's a reason for that. They're crazy out there. They basically just come up with weekend events in which people flood the streets and do things that I don't hear about anywhere else. I mean, Meat-a-thon is coming up this weekend. If you missed us talking about that on the last episode, listen all about it, and then probably go and eat a ridiculous amount of meat as you walk through downtown Lamont. And then a few weeks after that, on Small Business Saturday, Mabel's Market is putting together an ornament walk. We've talked with Summer Steele before. She's on the line with us right now. Summer, how are you?
Doing fine. Thanks for having me.
You guys come up with something out there every weekend. Like Lamont's a party. Like if people don't live in Lamont and you're looking for something to do, I know that their website, lamontdowntown.com, lists a bunch of stuff. We talk about it here on Southside Pod. You thought up this idea. Was it just you? Was it a collaboration for Small Business Saturday with this idea that people are going to show up and go from business to business picking up new ornaments, craft ornaments for their tree this holiday season?
Yes. I mean, we did think even if you had all the ornaments you ever wanted, ornaments make a great gift too, or ornament exchanges are really popular right now. So we thought if you leave downtown Lamont after a night of browsing through the different shops and being able to have wine and craft beer and listen to music along the way, and you leave with 8 like really cool ornaments, like whether they're for your own tree or you gift them, it's such a good deal.
Yeah, so it's 8 ornaments. You're paying for these in advance, right? So it's $50 for the event. You get a wristband. You're walking through Lamont. You're hitting 8 different places. You're picking up your ornaments. You're spending an afternoon in Lamont on Small Business Saturday. But then there's also on top of picking up your ornaments, other things that are going on as you're walking along? I know Pollyanna's involved in some way in this, and some of the other locations that aren't giving away ornaments have jumped in, and it's become almost, I mean, it's not a drinking progressive, right? I mean, you go to these, sometimes you hit a place and you have a drink at like 8 different places. Here you're getting an ornament at 8 different places, but then there's also other stops along the way and a little bit of drinking.
Yes, we do like to incorporate drinking as an option to most of the events we do in the evening.
Tell me a little bit about the extras on top of the ornaments as you go into each business.
So each business that's on it, when people register, they get a note back that says where they check in, either at Mabel's Market or one of the other businesses, That Girl & Co. And when you check in, you'll get a wristband and a map. And on the map will be where each stop where you can pick up an ornament. And several of the businesses, for instance, Astor Gardens just opened this year, a really, really cool vintage house plant shop. She will have, Pollyanna will be in there giving for free or included in your price a flight of seasonal craft beer taste. That Girl & Co. is going to have a harpist playing Christmas music and some other music. And then in the back room at the bookstore, at 3 Stories Books, we're having a tarot card reader.
Oh, yeah, because nothing says Christmas like tarot cards.
Well, we were calling it your Christmas fortune. Anything happens. Anything goes in Lamont. We were really trying to think of, because, most of the other shops are offering wine samples, and we were really just trying to think of what are some things that you don't get just by shopping Small Business Saturday, which we hope that everybody does anyways. But as an event like this, we were like, what is just something cool or fun that will appeal to a lot of different people? The wine, the beer, the ornaments, the tarot card readers.
I see a hot cocoa truck on here as well and some fire pits out there.
Yes. So the cocoa truck, we're hoping for some fire pits there on Main Street Park. So we think that the really cool thing about downtown Lamont is that it's so walkable. You can park once, you'll be able to hit all 8 of these shops easily walking, even if it's chilly that night. Where the hot cocoa truck will be, that will be easy to get to and, stroll past. So I think that is one thing that we really have going for us here, is that the relationship between the small businesses and the small business owners and the community here is really tight, and it's really easy just to park and be part of all of it.
It looks like here it should be a great event. I know that you always have a lot of parking there. There's a ton of public parking, a lot of street parking. You can take the metro out there if you're not from Lamont and get around very easily. You got a lot of different things that are going on. People are going to go shopping anyway over that weekend coming out of Thanksgiving. And here you pretty much have paid $50 for 8 different ornaments. I mean, think about if you got to knock out 8 people on a list and you're like, I'm just going to get them all ornaments and I'm going to walk around and taste some craft beer and drink some wine samples and check out downtown Lamont, which I'm sure is going to be all done up and decorated coming out of Thanksgiving into that weekend. So it sounds like a blast. Quick question for you, though. This is not me trying to be cheap, but what if I took my wife to this? She wants 8 ornaments for the tree, and I don't want duplicates. Do we both get bracelets, or can I just stand next to her while she shops? Because that's pretty much all I do generally, is just stand next to her while she shops.
So I would say the wristband, all the shops are going to be open anyways. So yes, the person that is getting the ornaments would have the wristband. They are also the ones getting the free beer from Pollyanna, and, the tarot card reading if they wanted, the hot cocos.
I should wear the wristband so I can get the beer and then just hand her the ornaments. That's what you're telling me?
I am saying that's between you two, but but it is the same ornament. That is a good question, because it is the same ornament per stop. There's only one ornament per stop. So if 4 people from your family were all coming, you would expect to get, you're just going to get that same ornament from each shop. So whether that be you want to gift it or you want to trade it or bring it to an ornament exchange, it's one. And I will note that each ornament that we're giving is inspired by the shop that is handing it out. So you'll feel the same kind of vibe and taste, and it's not going to be the photography studio, we're not handing out a camera ornament, but you will hopefully be able to kind of draw the line between the ornament and the shop.
That's cool. Registration then is going to be on November 17th. You got to get your wristband by then. I'm sure that's so that you can prepare and make sure you have enough ornaments to hand out, because essentially you're buying your 8 ornaments in advance. You're getting the rest of the experience with the wine tasting, the beer tasting, and the other extras that are along the way. And it looks like we go to your store's website to get the tickets, mabelsmarket.com, correct?
It is true. We're half sold out. So we have about a little bit over half sold out. So we have as of today, about 40 tickets left.
All right. I'm going to get in there and get my ticket. Just one, though. Okay. She doesn't need any craft beer samples. She has enough wine on the weekends, and I'll just do one of those.
I wouldn't kill you to buy 2 tickets, but I'd kill you to buy 2 tickets on Small Business Saturday.
Yeah, trust me. I'll have 2 of them. You know that, Summer. There's no way I'm getting away with that scheme. She's not going to allow that to happen. Summer Steele from Mabel's Market, once again on Southside Pod. It's a pleasure to have you every time that you're on, and another really cool idea going on in Lamont. Thanks a lot, Summer.
You're welcome. Talk to you soon.
Have you been injured at work? Then you need someone who will fight for the care and compensation you deserve. The insurance companies will look out for themselves and their bottom lines, not you. I'm Matthew Coleman, partner and head of the work injury department at the law offices of Parenti and Norm. My team and I have the experience, dedication, and proven results it takes to fight for your rights. Call or text me today at 312-641-5926 or visit us on the web at pninjurylaw.com.
I think this is my last winter.
Ever?
No,
I'm
not
so
ever.
sorry.
Not ever.
Wow. What's
No.
going on?
It's my last winter with the beard.
You have a beard?
It's the scruffy stuff I keep on my face.
I just
okay?
thought you didn't shower.
My kids think
not
it's
really
a
a beard.
My kids think it's a beard.
I've
But I know it's
I've
not.
seen beards.
No, I don't have a real beard because every time it gets too long, it gets itchy, and I hate
Yeah,
it. So I
beards
keep
suck.
I keep it really
Beards
short.
are dirty and gross. I'm
Right.
sorry if you have a beard and you're a listener, but I don't care how much little
Beards are dirty
beard
and gross.
oil you use.
Oh my
or
gosh.
Whoever's selling you this garbage.
I don't feel this
to
way.
make
This is
you
only
feel-
Bill. We don't want to lose all of our bearded listeners. Okay?
You have they say oh, get some beard oil. Like, what are you doing? You're just oiling up dirtiness.
I do think that's a little weird.
It's nasty.
I mean, well, I
Food
actually
get trapped
Well, no,
in
and
it.
here's the thing. I shampoo my beard. I would imagine most people do that. You know? I mean, it's not it's
I
not
wouldn't
a
call
full
it a beard though. That's just
it's not a full beard.
Yours
It's
is I
facial
haven't
hair.
shaved in a couple weeks.
It's facial hair grown out to kind of cover up a little bit of the fat on my face.
That's all it is. It's like a neck beard to cover up your double
That's
chin.
basically what it is. That's what it is. And it's turning gray.
Oh, my hair is gray.
And
My kids say I have gray hair now. Like when they color me,
Yeah.
I'm going to draw a picture of our
and
family.
they use silver.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, what? Why are you doing that? Like, oh, that's your hair color,
Do
Daddy.
they only put it on part of your head too? Because you're going bald.
Yeah, well, yeah. that's been for years though. So
But the thing is, right away, I was like, I'm taking this off after the winter because it's turning white. There's white and there's gray on the sides, and I'm
Yeah.
like, it makes me look old. And I'm
that's
like,
cool. You're like an old dog.
well, that's the thing. Erica's like, you should keep it. You look distinguished. And I'm like, she wants me to wear this so that girls know I'm old. I think that's what the reasoning in her mind is, because she's always done this.
Right.
And you've said this before, and a lot of my other friends have said this before. She believes, since she
Right.
would sleep with me, that everybody would.
Sure.
But in the end, she's the only one who would
Correct.
sleep with me.
Right.
But she thinks because she's into it,
Absolutely.
every woman would be into it. So
Which
in
is
her
not
mind,
the truth. In all of our
no,
cases,
it's not.
by the way.
Exactly.
Most,
we all
of our
have a woman who goes, well, but since I would do this, he's
Right.
the hottest man in the world.
Yeah.
But in reality, you're confused by
Right.
love. Love has blinded you to how
Correct.
yeah, exactly, right? So she's like, every decision she makes when she tells me how to dress, I have to put it through the prism of
Yeah.
she thinks that women find me attractive. So if I'm going out with her, there are certain shirts she likes me to wear.
Because she's with you at the time.
Right. And there are certain
But if you're
shirts,
going out
hold
without
on.
her.
But there are
Yeah.
certain shirts she doesn't like because she doesn't think I look good in them. When I'm with her, she wants me to look good.
Yes.
When I'm going out without her,
Yep.
all of a sudden she
100%.
starts suggesting the shirts that I know she thinks make
I
me
tried
look
to wear this to
stupid.
dinner last week.
Right.
And you said it was
Oh, no, that
awful.
looks good on you, because she's trying to make me look ugly because she
Yeah.
thinks that that's what's going to happen. So she's like, no, you should keep that. It makes you look distinguished. And I'm like, you want me to keep this because it makes me look like I'm I'm old. I think that's what the whole reasoning is, right?
It sounds like that she is being very jealous and then protective of you. But I don't know if the beard thing, like the shirt thing, she can have it both ways, right? She gets the good shirt, the other girls get the bad shirt.
Right.
I mean, now she's getting the gray, other girls getting the gray. So she might just be into it.
You think she's into the gray?
Might be.
It's weird.
Check it out.
I mean, her father has a beard, though, so then that makes it weird. Her
Girls
dad
always go for girls with their fathers.
That's why I keep some Old Spice in the car, just in
Nice.
case.
Nice. Real nice.
For the last month or so, we've been checking in every once in a while with local Southside high school sports in the football season. There's playoff football. They're getting close to the state championship. There's also state championship volleyball happening this weekend. There's a lot of Southside teams still involved. Tim O'Brien from the Beverly Review joining us once again as we get ready for some big contests. And he's brought to you by SidSauce.net. It is the only place to get your hot sauces. The peppers are grown on the South Side, the sauce is developed, they're bottled, and they're delivered to much of the listening area for free. SidSauce.net. Brother Rice, Mount Carmel, a chance to head to the Final Four going downstate, happens this weekend, Tim.
It's as good as it gets locally. I mean, this is what when the bracket came out at the end of October, everyone's kind of looking like, okay, if these guys can win a couple, you get another matchup in the quarterfinals. Off the seeding, Mount Carmel is the heavy favorite. There's no doubt about that. But that's how their regular season matchup went too. Everyone kind of assumed, man, the Caravan are going to blow by them. And Brother Rice came out and really stuck them defensively and just put a good game plan together. And Mount Carmel was a little off, and they had to kind of hold on late to get that win. So, yeah, I think Mount Carmel got their wake-up call. There's certainly the potential that maybe this goes, if they click offensively, that they can, win by a touchdown, 2 touchdowns. Who knows? But Rice is playing really well, and with the new head coach, Casey Quedenfeld, they're just really solid. You can see that he gets what he's doing. Yeah, there's the potential that Mount Carmel, if things click, they're the favorite if you're a betting man, but Rice is solid. So I think this is going to be a game. It's going to be interesting to see how Brother Rice can handle things early on, just to, you can't get in a hole. They've got to, kind of stick with them. So, if you're a high school football fan, this is as good as it gets. We should enjoy this one.
So the other game that's very interesting has whoever's going to end up playing Brother Rice or Mount Carmel in the next round in the semifinals for the state championship. And St. Rita has an opportunity to win that game and then face the winner of the game that we just talked about. What are their chances this weekend?
St. Rita's just rolling lately. They're not flashy. They're not super like, oh, look at what the Mustangs are doing. They're winning, and they find ways to win. And recently, it's been that running game. Their junior running back, DJ Stewart's been going for 100+ and multiple touchdowns for, I think, 4 straight weeks now. I mean, he's having a day behind a really experienced offensive line. St. Charles North is tough. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you don't get to the quarters by accident in those upper classes. Like, they're a good team. They're a legit 10-1. They can score. They've got a really nasty defense that can slow you down, and they've got a couple guys going both ways that are key contributors. So, you never know this time of year, but it's going to be a fun one to see. Can St. Rita kind of stick with it and wear them down? Can they bust a couple big plays? But yeah, I mean, the top 4 teams in the Class 7A bracket, or the top half of the bracket, is Brother Rice, Mount Carmel, and St. Rita. There's a potential for a state semifinal between some of the most storied programs in the state. I mean, if Mount Carmel, St. Rita for a state semifinal, that's on the line. That's our Super Bowl. Like, that's huge. That's what you dream of as a football fan. So I think St. Rita is going to get it done. It's going to be close, and it's not going to be easy, but I think they just have too much skill. They've been really well coached all year, and they've got some athletes who can make a big play. So I'm picking St. Rita close, but, it's going to be fun to see if they can go on the road and get that done.
All right, so of the three Southside teams, and I think I can kind of figure this out by what you said, but I want to hear you say it out loud. Of those three Southside football programs that are on a collision course with each other, which one, rank them 1, 2, and 3, best chance to make it through this bracket and get to the state championship between Carmel, Rice, and Rita?
Gun to my head, I'm still riding with Mount Carmel. They've been dealing with some key injuries that have kind of forced them to revamp some things, but they're so deep on offense, and the defense just continues to make plays at every level, up on the line, the secondary, and then they just don't let a lot of big plays behind them. I ride with them. They were the favorite all year long. They're 11-0 for a reason. You know, this is why they're here. This is how they got here. I think they'll get it done. And I think I'll be in Champaign in a couple weeks covering Mount Carmel. But I wouldn't be shocked if St. Rita, any of the three can make it. There's too much talent on these teams. You just need a couple plays to break your way sometimes. But I go Mount Carmel. I think they're too good to not make it to the state championship.
It feels like whoever was going to win the Macaulay-Marist volleyball game is essentially going to be the team to beat for the state championship. Am I wrong about that? Because it just feels like those are the two teams.
There was a sense in that gym last week at Lyons Township that there was a state championship feel, which is kind of typical of that rivalry. Every matchup kind of feels like, okay, this is it. You win it all with this. And Marist squeaked out a close one early in the first set. It was I believe 30-28, and Mother Macaulay rallied and looked as good as any team I've seen this season. The second and third sets were absolutely dominant. I mean, and if they play like that, nobody's going to beat them. That said, it is a tough, Final Four up there. St. Charles East is no slouch, and waiting on the other side, if Mother Macaulay can get through, is a Barrington team that beat Macaulay 3 weeks ago out at a tournament the last week of the year, and Bennett, who's kind of just flown under the radar this year. Marist handled them with ease in the conference schedule, but I've been impressed. Mother Macaulay, when they're clicking, not many teams can keep up with them. I think it'll probably be a Mother Macaulay-Barrington state championship match Saturday night, but we'll see how things play out. But Mother Macaulay is freakishly good when they're on, and they're on a lot.
All right, exciting stuff going on right now at the local high schools, football and volleyball right now. Tim O'Brien covers all the sports in the area for the Beverly Review. Tim, I appreciate you jumping on Southside Pod.
For sure. I appreciate having me, Chris.
1, 2, 3. How many feet is it?
9.
How many feet is it?
9.
How many feet is it?
9.
It's the homemade 9-foot oak bar. How many feet is it?
9.
How many feet is it?
9.
How many feet is it? It's the homemade oak bar. We're down here drinking at the homemade 9-foot oak bar. And I know wish you were here and not so far away from the homemade 9-foot oak bar. Is it leek? Is it teak? I don't know, but it's not redwood, it's oak, It's the how many feet is it?
9.
How many feet is it?
9.
How many feet is it?
9.
It's a homemade 9-foot oak bar. I said, how many feet is it?
9.
How many feet is it?
9.
How many feet is it?
9.
Homemade 9-foot oak bar. Homemade 9-foot oak bar.
Switch to a new age of life, stay independent in the home, and forget that assisted living. It's a bad idea. Why did you work so hard? Why did mom and dad work so hard? Grandma and grandpa work so hard to then have to leave their house. Forget that. HHME.com. Go there right now. Do it while you're listening to the podcast. That's Hyatt Home Medical Equipment. And I'm not telling you to go there to order, though you can. I'm telling you to go there so you can see how they can make your home into a smart home, that they have the latest in diabetes control and CPAP machines, that you can get your medical equipment at a great price, and they take money off not only by working with your insurance, but if you mention Southside Pod, you get additional money off. But after you look at the website, just stop in and see them. 3518 West 95th Street in Evergreen Park. I'm thinking that we're talking about the baby boomers that probably need it, maybe some Gen Xers, not the Zs or the Ys or the millennials. That was the worst part about all the election coverage. The absolute worst. They can't come up with names for these kids. They keep labeling them. I think that I think it's stupid. I understood the baby boomer thing because
why do they start with X, by the way?
Well,
it wasn't like a W.
Well, that was a weird thing. Think about this. The baby boomer generation was there to describe an actual increase in births.
Things happened after they came home from war.
Following World War II. There was a reason it was called that. And then anybody from the end of World War II until the 70s, we're talking 30 years.
Yeah.
You're telling me somebody born in 1945 is the same as somebody born in 1969?
Yeah.
No.
Ridiculous.
But you're telling me they're all the same generation. Okay? That's what makes the whole thing stupid.
And defined by a letter of the alphabet just arbitrarily picked out of the one of the 26.
Because, it was a news
doesn't
report.
Describe any of them.
It was a news report. They were trying to talk about the disaffected youth. There was a difference in the economy. They had an attitude with themselves, and they came up with Generation X because they didn't know what to call them. And then what happened is all the morons. I mean, they never. I always tell
what
this.
do we have next? I don't know.
I always tell this to my kids. There was no name for any generation before baby boomers, and now, because there was a generation called something.
There was, but not like,
what was it called?
Not well known.
What was it called?
I think if you looked it up,
the horse and buggy generation, the Model T generation,
the Depression age.
I mean, come on.
I think there was, but it's not well known.
What was it?
I don't know, but
because it didn't exist.
Okay, it's not well known.
Argue with me
I
for
said
no
it
reason.
wasn't known.
You know what I'm going to tell you right now? If you find a name of it, I guarantee somebody named it in the last 10 years. Like it wasn't called that back, when they actually had the generation alive. All right, they've been named retroactively. They've been named retroactively. They're all dead, and somebody came up with a name for them.
The greatest generation. 1901 to 1924.
Right. No, but they were only called the greatest generation because they defeated Hitler, and they weren't called the greatest generation until the 80s or 90s when they were finally called that. Like they lived their whole lives before somebody called them that, or they were already dead.
Then you had the silent generation.
That didn't even exist. That's bull. Some millennial came up with that. That didn't even exist.
Mostly because of Calvin Coolidge, I would imagine.
It didn't even exist.
Silent Cal.
They never called anybody the silent generation.
What about
I've never heard
when the silent movies came out? I get it.
Come on, now no. Nobody called it that.
Then the baby boomers.
That was the first time they named the generation.
Then
real.
X. Then I thought there was a Y, but apparently it's millennials. And millennials Y the same thing?
No, they go millennials, Y, and Z.
And then right now is Alpha. Apparently goes to 2025.
Oh, come on. This is stupid.
2013 to 25 is Generation
Here's
Alpha.
the point.
So we're starting over, but with Greek letters now.
Here's the thing. It's just stupid at this point. The idea that they're naming generations did not even exist when we were
People need younger. Things to feel accepted and part of, people need that.
I don't want to be part of anything, which according to my notes says that I am Gen X. All right, yeah, that makes sense. All right, before we get you out of here, let's take a look at your weekend. You don't want to miss anything exciting like Santa coming to town. This is way too early. He used to show up on Thanksgiving, now he shows up on Veterans Day. Pretty soon it'll be 4th of July. Santa's getting to Orland Square Mall Friday, 5 p.m. till 6 p.m. They're having the arrival party and a tree lighting. I mean, I shouldn't really pick on the Orland Mall Santa. As a child, I have sat on Santa's lap in Orland Mall. As an adult, I might have done it too. If you're looking for music, there's a ton of it. Blue Island Beer Company, or BIBCO for short. I love calling it that. I don't think anybody else does. They have Lithium, a full volume tribute to Nirvana, on Friday night starting at 6 p.m. And then our good friend Joe Ryan is having his Fairly Folk Fest. All kinds of great artists, and Joe is one heck of a performer. We've had him on this show many times before. That kicks off 5 p.m. on Saturday. They're rocking at the Rooftop Tap in Palos Heights as well on Saturday starting at 8 p.m. Moving targets on the Rooftop Tap, Harlem Avenue just north of 123rd. Your look at this weekend, of course, brought to you by Cool Clouds Vapor Shop. Quitting smoking is hard. Cool Clouds wants to give you an alternative. Great taster bar, plus all kinds of CBD products. Check them out at 3837 West 95th Street or visit coolcloudsvapor.com. And mark down on your calendar the Streets Arts Alliance. They do all kinds of really fun events at breweries all over the South Side. We're going to be going to one of these, if not both. Sound Growler Brewing Comics and Cosplay Market on the 26th of November. And then on the 27th, Also in Tinley Park, right up the road at Hailstorm Brewing, the Flurry of Makers Holiday Market. 2 very different markets, 2 very different breweries, both out in Tinley and Southside Pod. I'm telling you, I'm going to be at one, maybe both of them, because I'm not sure if I can pass up people dressed up in cosplay while I'm drinking craft beer. I mean, let's be honest, Bill, you only live once. Think of the people that we've lost this year. Did you see this thing? Angela Lansbury died?
Get out of here.
Yeah, you saw that, right?
Come on,
She's
really?
dead. Yeah, she's dead.
Oh my
Come
God.
on, you saw it. She was dead.
What's
You're just
next? The
messing.
Queen?
She's dead too.
What?
Yeah, she died.
That's just tell me Coolio's
The
gone.
funny thing is,
Don't
yeah, he's
tell me
dead too. He's dead too. He died.
Oh.
Coolio died. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's on the floor.
I can't
Yeah.
wait for 2022 to be over.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the worst year ever.
Oh,
worst year
God.
ever. All these people dying.
Anyway.
First of all, Angela Lansbury dying at the age of 95 immediately. Was I the only person that did math in their head and tried to figure out how old she was when I was a
Murder,
kid?
She Wrote.
Because I was like, she seemed like she was 80 years old in Murder, She Wrote. She was like 50.
Yeah.
Like you're sitting there going like,
She was an old woman
wait a
in Murder,
minute.
She Wrote.
Like I thought
Some
she
people
was
are just
super
that old.
Yeah, she's always looked
Remember,
old.
like, George Burns was in that movie Oh God in the early 80s?
I know.
And he was like 100?
Right, I
And then he died like 30 years later.
Yeah, and it was like, how did he live so long? But then I saw this thing on Twitter, and this was what the crazy thing was. Somebody doing a tribute to Angela Lansbury put like the recording of Beauty and the Beast
Oh, she was Mrs. Potts.
and her doing Be Our Guest.
Yeah.
And you find out that Lemur, and I did not realize this, the Candlestick, is the dude from Law and Order. It's
No.
the dad from Dirty Dancing. It's Jerry Orbach.
Wow.
And he's doing a French accent. And he's
That's
just standing there.
strange.
He's just standing there with a cup of coffee. And you're like, the guy from Law and Order is speaking French? And like the Candlestick, he's like, hee, ha, ha. And I'm like, oh, you ruined everything for
Yeah,
me. I did not
right.
think it was that guy. That's who it was. That's who the Candlestick was.
Wow.
Yeah. So Angela Lansbury died, and
that's
that's what I
tell me
learned.
that the Jamaican crab from Little Mermaid's a white kid.
It probably is.
You got to kiss the girl. All right, good job, Jacob. Can we take it again? It's the South Side. It's the South Side. It's Southside Pod. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in to the Southside Pod. Y'all come back now, you hear?